Top stories on WINN TV News. Two people accused of defamation by the former Prime Minister have broken their silence. We go deeper into the Liat issue that sparked sharp criticisms from Antigua's Prime Minister Gaston Browne, and former St. Kitts and Nevis ambassador has been appointed to the OAS.
The athletic stadium, formerly known as the Silver Jubilee Stadium, has been renamed the Kim Collins Athletic Stadium.
The details of these and more when we come back after a word from our sponsor.
Mother's Day is the one day of the year that is specially dedicated to celebrating all of the wonderful things our moms had done for us over the years. And it's our annual reminder to express our love and appreciation by saying thank you. Give her either the Jimmy Choo for women, or Dolce by Dolce & Gabbana, or even Beige Volet, or Le Panther from Cartier, and Kenzo Flower Tag for ladies. Only at Ashbury's for great service. Ashbury's is located at Liverpool Road, Bastia, and also at the Marriott in Frigate Bay. Call 465-8175 or 466-1626. Ashbury's.
I am Chantal Rochester, and this is the WINN TV News. Did the Liat's Chief Executive Officer David Evans go beyond his duties, or was he trying to move the airline beyond its financial problems to a more profitable alternative? Ken Richards delved into this issue in this report.
It may be overkill to suggest that the future of regional airline Liat is up in the air at the moment. However, recent outrage expressed by Antiguan Prime Minister Gaston Browne over an alleged plan to replace Liat with a new airline in which Barbados would have a leading role is fueling speculation about where next for Liat, the airline that has served the region for more than 50 years. Vincentian opposition leader Annie Eustace says he is very concerned about the situation because Liat plays a key role in regional travel and the tourism industry.
Liat is critical to the transport system in our region and critical to St. Vincent and Dominique in particular because we hardly have any other access or any other ability to go or come from St. Vincent and Grenadines except a few very small airlines. So in terms of our tourism and transport generally, Liat is indeed very critical. The issues that have been discussed today are very concerning to us in St. Vincent and Grenadines, and we have been examining the situation. We have a whole series of discussions taking place as to what position we should take on the matter. It wasn't concretized yesterday as I hoped, and during the course of this weekend, we've been doing some work in that regard, but we are very concerned about the situation.
The status of the controversial proposed plan remains unclear as to whether it is under consideration from Liat shareholder governments, but Antigua's Gaston Browne is insisting that such a plan would be detrimental to his country's interests. Browne blames Liat CEO David Evans as the official who penned the plan, with Evans far from being his favorite person at the moment. Caribbean broadcaster Julius Gittins has seen a copy of the 7-page proposal.
Essentially, what it seeks to do is to actually use some of the aircraft that the government of Barbados owns through Liat to be reassigned, essentially, to this carrier. And the carrier is not going to be a Barbados carrier that serves only Barbados interests. The Caribbean Development Bank, which is, you could say, the owner of those planes, in a sense, it would be required to assume title of these aircraft and then give them to the Barbados government for a surrender of its shareholding in Liat. And, of course, the aircraft and the loan obligations for the purchase of the aircraft would then be assigned to this new company.
At least 2 people who were threatened with defamation lawsuits by former Prime Minister Dr. Denzil Douglas have rejected his accusations. Lawyers for Dr. Douglas had written to the individuals demanding from each an apology, a retraction, $300,000 in damages, and over $30,000 in legal expenses.
Lawyers for Dr. Douglas had written to the individuals demanding from each an apology, a retraction, $300,000 in damages, and over $30,000 in legal expenses. A letter to Mr. Jermaine Lake, the brother-in-law of Prime Minister Dr. Timothy Harris, accuses him of making a scandalous, totally false and defamatory Facebook post. The March 11th post relates to comments pertaining to reports that Dr. Douglas had received a visit from U.S. officials in January who advised him that his U.S. visa was being revoked. Meantime, Rivi Warner-Lake, the daughter of prominent People's Action Movement politician Dr. Charles Warner, was also threatened with legal action over Facebook posts. Dr. Douglas's legal counsel makes reference to a series of posts on Facebook on March 18th, which, in addition to comments about his character, accuses the former Prime Minister of criminal acts and abuse of his office. The letters from Dr. Douglas's lawyers state that while the former Prime Minister welcomes political debate, it was apparent that the recipients were, quote, solely motivated to damage Dr. Douglas's good name for partisan political purposes, end quote. WINN FM understands that lawyers for Mr. Lake and Mrs. Warner-Lake have responded, indicating that they do not admit to his allegations, nor are they willing to accede to his demands. Reports are that Mrs. Warner-Lake's counsel essentially reminds that court action would involve an examination of Dr. Douglas's assets and actions.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is WINN FM.
WINN FM's mission is to contribute meaningfully to the information, awareness, and the development of our nation and the region through the building of educated and informed communities. WINN FM faces the issues squarely, without shying away from controversy, while striving continuously to provide balanced, responsible reporting.
Better music, better talk, better radio. 98.9 WINN FM.
Welcome back. Former St. Kitts and Nevis Ambassador to the United States, Jacinth Henry Martin, has been appointed to the post of Chief of Staff to Organization of American States. Secretary General Luis Almagro. More from Tony Frederick Armstrong.
The Secretary General tweeted the news Monday, quote, I'm happy to announce Ambassador Jacinth Henry Martin as my Chief of Staff as of May 26, end quote. The first female to serve as St. Kitts and Nevis' ambassador to the U.S., Ms. Henry Martin also becomes the first female to serve as Chief of Staff to the Organization of American States. The former St. Kitts and Nevis government minister served as ambassador to the United States since 2011. Henry Martin was born in Sandy Point, St. Kitts. She studied modern languages and cultural management in Venezuela and holds a Master's of Arts in Technical and Specialized Translation from the University of Westminster in the United Kingdom. She's fluent in 3 languages, English, French, and Spanish. A storyteller, poet, dramatist, songwriter, and a published author, Ms. Henry Martin was the first person to win the title of National Calypso Queen. Henry Martin has held a variety of teaching, administrative, banking, and secretarial positions. She was appointed Director of Culture in the Ministry of Tourism, Culture, and the Environment in 1996, and in 2000 was made a senator and permanent secretary in the same ministry. Elected to the National Assembly as a Labour Party candidate in March 2000, Henry Martin became Minister of Information, Culture, Youth and Sports. She also served as the Director General of Carifesta 7 in 2000. In 2005, she was named Deputy High Commissioner to the St. Kitts and Nevis Embassy in London in the UK, where she served until December of 2008. In 2009, she took up the position as Director of U.S. Operations for the St. Kitts Tourism Authority. She served in the post until her 2011 appointment as Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary to the U.S. and Permanent Representative to the OAS.
The athletic stadium, formerly known as the Silver Jubilee Stadium, has been renamed the Kim Collins Athletic Stadium. It was renamed at a ceremony on Sunday during Carifta Games at the stadium, where the government officially announced the new name in the presence of Kim Collins, St. Kitts and Nevis' most iconic athlete. Here are excerpts of Mr. Collins' response at the ceremony.
It is what it is, forgive me. But I have to thank the people who went out and voted for team unity. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And the people, not only for the idea of thinking about doing this, but actually going out and saying, Kim Collins, we're going to name this stadium after you. And I have no problem challenging the next youngster to come Collins have done. I have no problem with that. There were so many before me in track and field, and yes, they went as far as they could have gone at that time. We started going to the Olympics in 1996, and up until 2012 we showed that we are forced to return this. Because we pack a punch, we smile when we come. We come to compete, we don't come to participate. We come, and we come to compete against Jamaica, Trinidad, USA, everybody. That's what it's about. So to all of those who've been here before me, thank you.
The top stories again as we close the WINN TV news. Former St. Kitts and Nevis ambassador has been appointed to the OAS, and 2 people accused of defamation by the former Prime Minister have rejected the accusations. I am Chantal Rochester, and thank you for watching.